Oh man, I can't get this right.
I want to get it right.
Well, here's what it is. Greetings, everyone. This is your host, 10 o'clock scholar, staying in the light broadcast of Tyfer Institute. I've got some important news for you today. It's got me so energized. I had to get up and put on clothes that represent the knowledge. When you have knowledge, you got to make sure you're representing the knowledge. And a lot of times I have been just coming on as I am without preparing because the knowledge is so a part of me. I don't see it something special. I've grown up with this knowledge. I'm developing the knowledge. And that has to do with how I was raised. I never remember my parents telling me no. They always gave me a choice, no matter what. Eating oranges, I like to eat I like to eat the flesh of the orange. My parents say, "Is that a good idea?" They never say, don't do that. I never had that type of. I never had that type of teachings. So when I received it, I received that harsh teachings in school, fourth grade, matter of fact, as I recall correctly. Very harsh teachings. It affected me deeply, and that had to do with me becoming a teacher. They call it the noble profession. How's everybody out there in Radio Land? Oh, we're live. You can see me now. I'm just taking my time trying to see more people coming in before I get to the main point because some of y'all will see this and you won't find it again. Not that it's not there, it's because it's not being circulated. My videos are not circulated a lot. Not for want of content, but let's say it like this: the powers that we allow to be don't want you to see. The powers that we allow to be do not want you to see. And I lived through these changes in perception and deceptions and illusions and delusions. I lived through them. I think I got some gray hair here. And I know you got to speak up against these things as they happen because a whole generation would be deceived. A whole generation. I mean, these problems created of our own doing because we didn't speak up in a timely manner. It creates generations of ignorance, and ignorance produced death. People die because of ignorance. People lose their life because of not knowing. And then when they know it, they reject it. So I'm doing my little part here to share some light. And this is a very energetic day, 22nd day of December, right after the solar solstice. So I'm getting my little energy in from this time, plus the Hanukkah celebration and upcoming Christmas. which many people celebrate. Christ's Mass. If you look at the word, it means the death of Christ, but you celebrate it as a festive occasion. So now that people are coming in, let's get to the main idea. Thank y'all for showing up. I'm not really paying attention to the chat because I want to get this message out, and I'm not going to be detracted or distracted by detractors. People got a whole lot to say. They're always detractors. Because if you be respectful, you come and listen, see what I got to say. And after you listen, then you react. But if you act while I'm talking, that's totally disrespectful. But that comes with the territory. I got to take the bitter with the sweet. The sweet is the respectful people who come here, who are led here to learn. Y'all just love the sight of an intelligent looking man dressed the part with something intelligent to say. You don't see this. This is rare. Everybody making jokes, everybody having fun, laughing, playing games, catching balls. Nobody's just having a common, intelligent conversation with you. Like one of my uh, people I grew up with, Bill Cosby did. He'd sit down and talk to you, say, what's going on? I lost half my audience right there. Good. If you don't like Bill Cosby, I don't like you. If you believe the lies, you don't supposed to be here. Now let me see what else I can say to get rid of half my audience. OJ didn't do it. The mafia did it. Okay, what else? Uh, if you believe in foundational Black Americans, you need some real serious surgery because you're sick in the brain. You don't recognize all the hundreds of years of divisions among us as a people, epidemic divisions. First, you take away your identity as First Nations people, Indigenous people. They take away that identity. Walter Plecker did that. Go study him. What Walter Plecker did. He's in Virginia. He was the. He had to do with the census. Boy, he did a thing that affects generations even to today. Paper genocide, I call it. Destroying a people's history, identity, under belief that he's preserving his race. Everything brother who does something think their reasons are divine. Most people who make astounding changes in the world do it for, they say, altruistic reasons, without fail. Be patient with me, y'all. I'm going to get it set up. I got all my equipment. I got the camcorder. I got the mic. I got everything I need. You know, the iPod, tripod. I got all that. However, I was just wanted to do this with others, you know, in a group, building, coming together, doing things as a community. But I'm not waiting any longer for the community. I'm going to do this myself. If I have to, by myself. Because it's too important to keep putting it off any longer. It is too important work to be done to procrastinate. And I'm taking advantage of this energy surge, this vibrational surge that even in the heavens, go outside and look up, see what the heavens look like. You won't be able to see the sun. It's overcast. That's the calm before the storm. Oh, it's coming, y'all. It's coming. Just as a side note, you do your own research. We've had more earthquakes in this year, 2025, than any time in recorded history. Fact check me. Fact check me. And ask yourself, why did you get this in the mass media? Why they don't tell you things like this? Like things are coming to a head, so as they say, things are coming to a head. And what's coming in the next, I'll say 24 to 48 hours, some of y'all not prepared for. I'm not trying to panic you. I'm just trying to give you a dose of light, or as I say, as an educator, I'm just educating you on what's going on. All right, let's go back to the discussion. Foundational Black Americans. What the hell is that? Who came with that idea? Now I mean, this not from us. This is an enemy. This is another term the enemy brings in to divide us. Can't you see that, people? They call you everything but who you are. You in North America, you calling yourself all these other names. Nationalities. You calling yourself in America, they got people so dumb down here, they call themselves by their race. A concept you don't even know anything about. Race is a concept that's very young. And it came from a people who sought to take advantage of differences to change a negative to a positive, to take a positive to a negative. In other words, you know the concept. The head, the tail becomes a. In this instance, the head became the tail, and the tail became the head. But that's going to change around, and it's changing around real soon. And I'm just so thankful that I have opportunity to share this knowledge with the world right now. We do not need black, Negro, colored, African Americans, black Americans. We don't need another term, foundational black America. We don't need that. It's all divisions, y'all. Can't y'all see that? All these divisions. Now they want to divide up the people who are uniting on a term like race, or so-called Pan-African movement, which was the first movement I became involved with. But I went through all the movements. I'm gonna tell you, I went through all of them: Pan-African, Christian, Islam, Moorish science, Black root, Indigenous. It isn't part of. There is not any part of knowledge, Hebrew, that I have not been exposed to and studied and participated in. And I'm just saying that to try to give you some qualifications. Being an educator for the last 50 years, I'm always going to be an educator. I was trained as an educator. I was educating before I was trained as an educator. That's my gift. And I thank my parents, the way I was raised, always led me to ask questions. They never told me my way or the highway. I wasn't raised like that. And I don't teach like that. We always have choices. Thank y'all for the comments. Hey, how y'all doing? I see y'all. I'm just not going to be distracted from the message because with the bitter comes the sweet. With the sweet people coming in, there's also people come in trying to detract. They're going to come to try to detract you. They're not trying to. They're not going to detract me. But I'm telling you also, don't pay too much attention to the chat because people are coming in to detract you. They haven't been there yet. They're coming. So stay focused on the message. And that's something we have to all learn how to not be distracted, how to stay focused. So after years and years of uh, disciplines and doing right to the best of my ability, eating right, living right, I can shut out that negative voice that speaks to all of us and fulfill your purpose. Who are we people? We are the First Nations people. Or you can call yourself the First Americans. You need to identify as a nationality, not as a race. You didn't even race is a very young concept and a very superficial identification. How you look, that doesn't tell me anything about you. Now, where you from? Okay, now I can get some idea about your who you are, not who you are, what you are, as opposed to who you are. So we are Americans, people. You want to choose a identification after that? Okay, whatever you choose. But stop calling yourself black, Negro, colored, foundational black. What the black ain't good enough. You got to be a foundational black. And I promise you, those divisions didn't come from us. Every generation, there has to be a new term to further divide the people. Now they want to divide the people who are outside of America who call themselves black. Now, it doesn't affect a lot of people outside of America because a lot of people don't call themselves black. Remember that guy in the Puerto Rican say, "I'm not black. I'm not black." No, he was calling himself Puerto Rican. He recognized black as a. It's not an identity, people. They got y'all fooled. You're proud of being no identity. Choose your nation. If you want to say whatever your nationality is, that's who you are. That's okay. But look at the continent you're in. What continent is this? North America, right? You got America. You got North, South, and Central. So why not say you're an American? They give you a heads up over a lot of people who can't say that unless they're the real immigrants who call themselves Americans but have ancestry other places. But if your ancestry here, if your ancestry is here, let's say from the foundation, when they discovered America, 1400s, your ancestors here, you are an American. Now I take my ancestry, I have lots of people in my ancestry. I got Moors, I got them that dug the mountain here, Mississippian, Washita Moor, Gula Geechee, Washaji Nation, and that's the proper name. The Shaji, not Cherokee. Cherokee is the term they made up. If you're going to use these terms, use the native term. Wachita Moor, Muur. Stop using these social constructs. That's the message. That's it right there. I can elaborate more and more. All skin colors are beautiful. What do others think about me? This is only a waste of time. Okay, I agree with that. All skin color is beautiful. Why do we in America always see ourselves in a negative light? In other words, you portray everything that's really intelligent and divine, pale skin. Your history is all pale skin, pale skin. You don't want to recognize the true beauty of the first people in America. So the people who talk about emphasizing color are the ones most guilty of doing it. What they call it, the pot calling the kettle black. Get your people to stop emphasizing race. Don't talk to me about it. Tell your people, your community, we got to lay off this black stuff. We got to lay off this Jesus is white stuff. We got to lay off this Cleopatra is white. That's a community you need to have in your community. That has nothing to do with me. Blumenthal, these people who created the concept of race to give themselves an advantage. Go talk to them about that, not me. You're trying to make yourself a victim of something you created. You created this color thing. That is so un American, but you created it. But thank you for the question. See, I like some questions that get me heated. I can go in deeper. The spirit comes out of me. So I will be looking at that chat from time to time, finding something that allows me to go deep so I can shut up these detractors. I told you they was coming, didn't I? Before he came, I told you they was coming. Because they're attracted. They hate us so much, they're always around us. Can you ever wonder about that? If you dislike a people, why are you always up in their face, trying to help them, trying to tell them what to do, trying to tell them how to think? Those people are so, and I'm talking about all people, y'all who carry this agenda, y'all are so pathetic. You are so, you're in so much pain because you have been victimized and you hate it. You have been miseducated and you hate it. You hate what your ancestors did, but you won't come out against them because that would go against the status quo. You would lose all your privileges. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to lose the privilege of being whatever. So you go with the status quo. And you attack those who are enlightening the people. Really, you're trying to affect those who are in the chat. Remember I told y'all, people who come here, they're not talking to me. They're trying to influence your thinking, to tell you who to listen to, how to think. Think like me, don't think like him. He's talking about color. Man, everything you do is about color. And you're not even ashamed of it. You have no remorse for it. If you speak about color, you should be apologizing to somebody about something. But instead, you're going to carry this narrative, or you still carry this narrative that we can't talk about things that you created. We didn't create color. I digress. So, I'm sure I could go back and erase a lot of things I said because I didn't elaborate on them. I said some things in error. It wasn't complete. If I put more thought into it, it may have came out better. But I'm speaking straight from the heart, not from the mind. Because in the heart is where love is. So it's meant for some, it's not meant for others. And anyone who I see who brings a message, who's representing knowledge, in a respectful way, I listen to them because I learn from everybody. Yeah, I learn from everyone. There's always something to learn from people. So I'm going to be upgrading. Like I said, I've got my camcorder here. I got a lot of things I have to do it myself. The community that I'm with, they're not stepping up fast enough for me, and I've got the time and the energy to do it. So that's what I'll be doing in the coming days. Not being overwhelmed, just doing a little every day. And that's how you conquer all your goals. Just do a little every day, but be consistent. Don't miss a day. You can vary the time length. You can get more or less, but do some of it every day. As they say, that's how you eat an elephant. But who want to eat an elephant? All right, well, I'm getting boring, so let me leave y'all while y'all still high from the message, because I call myself First American. And I want you to adopt that term. You're First American, or you're First Nation. That's us. We're First Nation. We're First American. And somebody said, it ain't got nothing to do with skin color. Did I say anything about skin color? You don't want to call yourself white. You don't want to call us black. So don't talk to me about skin color because you created those terms. And I'm telling my people, my community, don't call yourself black. That's a slavery term. I don't care how much they made you love it. James Brown, say it louder. But James Brown never said it. James Brown never said it because he knew his Washaji nation, of which he was a chief in. So he let you say it. So we got somebody paying off people in these movements to call yourself Foundation African American, Black American. Stop it, people. Stop the madness. Stop the color, calling yourself out of your name. Black don't take you nowhere but to slavery. Okay, find me some famous black people before 1492. They didn't call themselves black, so why are you? Oh, because Walter Plecker changed made the census, and he made everybody black. You couldn't call yourself indigenous. He wiped out that category. Couldn't call yourself Indian. He wiped out that category. A mulatto. You know, if you look at us as a people, you see every race here among us as a people. Every complexion. We are the world. It's true. So we are the most tolerant people on earth as far as skin color is concerned. We never prosecute people based on skin color. That's your sickness. So don't try to put it off on me. That's your history. That's not mine. So don't try to project it to me. I'm telling the truth that we should stop calling ourselves these complexions because it get us nowhere. What has it done since Rap Brown and Stokely Carmichael say Black Power? What power have you got? Matter of fact, you lost your communities with the civil rights. The civil rights, y'all propped it up like that was a big thing. I'm telling you, I was there. That was a real slavery, y'all. That was a real slavery. And you see the results of integration right up before you. You think you prospered since civil rights? Before civil rights, man, we had our community intact. Households were intact. Before all these wars taken out on us. I say wars against us. They call it war on poverty, war on drugs. There was war on us as a people. And these wars always made it more difficult for us to exist. The facts right there for you. All you gotta do is do your research. Unity. That's why I agree. I agree. We have to have unity, but unity as a people. You see, if you're talking about integrating, no, we don't need that type of unity. Then this is okay by the president. He said we don't need diversity and inclusion. No, you are free now to have your own communities, people. You're free to say no. We don't want you in our community. And you see how fast we're going to prosper. I mean, why is it good for some people to do that but not others? Look in South Africa, a so-called black country. You got white communities. Blacks not allowed. That's okay. We need to unite as a people and stop letting us be divided by these terms like foundational black Americans. I just had to speak on that because I spoke on it before, but I spoke in a podcast where I wasn't representing the knowledge. So when you hear this knowledge repeated, and I want y'all to repeat it, First Nations, First Americans, that's who we should be calling ourselves. So you hear that term, you reflect back to how it was presented to you. Man with a green bow tie and a red coat. He's melanated, heavily melanated. But I don't call myself black. I call myself First Nation. Or I can even say colored copper people. The copper colored people. That's what Noah Webster called us in 1828. Go check it out. It's in a dictionary. The copper colored people was found there. Didn't say no black people. Now you look at copper. Copper has many, many shades. From rust, like the dark copper would be, they call it rust copper, to the light copper. Bright, almost white. So those are complexion range we have in us as a people. So we have to unite under that copper colored people. Because every time you call yourself black and you're not black, you're lying on yourself. You're lying. And a liar is not gonna get any place anywhere. You're lying to reality. There's no black people. There's heavily melanated people. There's rust-colored copper people. If you light skinned, calling yourself black, you're lying. So call yourself as you are. You're copper colored because copper colored almost the whole rainbow in us as a people. When we say copper colored, it's not just a bright copper. That's one type of copper. But copper has that copper has 9 shades from light to dark. That's the term I want us to use, copper colored, because then you're telling the truth. You're not black. Even better, use the term First Nation, because that's the truth. We're the First Nation, the first American. So you got 3 to choose from. Somebody say, what's your race? Say, I'm First American. Identify with your nation. If you're born in North, South, Central America, you are American. You start naming countries, that's okay, but they tell you you're not American. If you say, oh, what's your name? Oh, I'm Dominican. Okay, you're not an American. That's the argument they would say. But you say, well, where is your continent? I'm an American. Born in North America. If you're indigenous, you're the First Nation. I think I've repeated myself for a long time. It's not about believing in yourself. It's about believing in your community as a people. We got to get away from this individualism. That's not us. We've never been an individual. We've always been a communal people, always about the village. And we have to get back to that. Nobody can go out of line because the village keep them in check. I grew up in a village. I'm a youngster trying to play hooky from school. The neighbors see me 2 blocks away and
Put me in check. Extended families.
community. That's what we're about. That was love, y'all. I'm telling you. This time you try to correct somebody's child, they ready to go to war against you because they say that's my child. No, that's the community child. When you start thinking right, you say that's a child of the community, and we all have investment in that child because that child is going to represent our community. So get away from this individual thing about you, me, mine. That's foreign to us. That's not who we are.
Religion means death. Reliving. That means you got to have something to
Bring yourself alive because you're dead. That's the purpose of religion.
These are all European concepts.
That y'all brought on us. Y'all forced on us. You think
We just joined up because Christianity was so good? No.
that was done by the force of death? You think I'm speaking English because I love this language? No. That was forcing us by punishment of death. We couldn't speak our languages.
That show how much
He has colonized us. You say, "Oh, I'm free." Okay. He's sitting back saying, "Okay, he's speaking the language. He's speaking my language and my ancestors. Uh, he's worshiping the religion of my ancestors.
everything he's doing.
Is based on what I do. So you're not free in that sense until you get. I won't say get back. I say Sankofa. Sankofa means look back to go forward. Go back and see what your ancestors did and how they were successful and go forward.
So don't talk to me about religion.
That's another division.
Everything this man comes up with is about dividing us.
Now remember, I'm talking to my people. Y'all do what y'all want. But y'all have fought wars among yourselves about religion. And then bring it on us. Or he Islam, or he's Christian.
And y'all at war with the families. I know.
I know. I was propagandized too.
But if you don't have love,
If you don't have love, your religion don't mean anything.
isn't that a scripture? Okay, so why are you talking about religion? Talk about love.
And I'm not talking about loving everybody because that's impossible. Anybody who say that is a liar. Love yourself first, then your community. Y'all got some pretty good questions. Allow me to go in because there's not a question that I cannot answer. Now that I gave my message, I can go into these questions.
One minute, excuse me. Okay,
So what's up? Y'all can keep me here if y'all keep bringing good questions.
okay, just remember we
Started the world, it's science and biblical. Whoa, what a head job they did on you.
you really believe that?
You really believe, and I'm thinking this is a European speaking
Yeah. But we don't have nothing to do with
science. The biblicals, that's not us. That's your Bible. Yeah, this is probably European speaking.
because of the arrogance.
Yeah, I know who you are. You started your world. This not our world. You destroy our world, or we allow our world to fall. You ever heard of the Moors? Moors?
They civilized Europe. Why are you not taught this?
This in school.
All these things you
I think
think
it's so modern, man. We was beyond that.
we beyond these little
Four-wheel cars and stuff. We was
mind to mind.
traveling. You have
No idea because they want to keep you ignorant. Because if you say we didn't do anything,
then you can try to justify, oh, that's why I did at the bottom. You see how you lie to yourself? Keep lying to yourself and see where it takes you.
it's going to take you to a dog place.
But there's no excuse now because you can ask AI and they're going to give you 90% truth.
If you ask the right questions, who civilized the world? Europeans not going to come up there. What else you got?
I think I answered that. I think I answered that. And the Bible, oh, you should be ashamed to speak on the Bible. Y'all don't, y'all have, matter of fact, the Bible story is taken from Egyptology. The Bible stories are taken from Egyptian history.
You have done nothing new. Everything you have has been
Copied and pasted
I'm talking about
as a culture.
you can't create nothing.
You didn't.
You haven't created anything new. But you have to tell yourself that lie
Lie to justify.
you're ruling the world. But that time is ending because truth is going to rule the world. Go study 3-Eye Atlas, see what that's all about. As above, so below. Aleph,
Lamet,
Dalet. Aleph, Lamet, Dalet.
let. What is that about?
As above, so below. As
As within, so without. Most people know that part, but you know the part that says, I walk through the doorway
of
unity. I walk through the doorway of unity because you know the ins and outs, you know the good and bad. That's why we placed ourselves in this position, because we already knew the good. We want to know what it's like being underling. We want to know what it's like being enslaved or in prison. I refuse to believe we was
was enslaved, and you can call prison a form of enslavement. We're still in prison, people. Prison of war.
If you don't think you're at war, you are really delusional.
You have normalized this
Being prisoners.
that everything you see, you don't believe it. Go listen to my tapes
And get more of view of what we're about here. How many people in the chat? 11. Okay. If we go below 10, I'm out of here. As long as I got 11 people and above, I'll stay. But if we go below 10,
I'm going to say I'm going to stop on the 9 number.
so if y'all don't want to be here, y'all can leave right now and I can leave. Ooh. You don't believe this is just double. When I said I was going to leave when it gets to 9, 2 people can leave, it jumped to 22. Unbelievable. Yeah, if all colors are beautiful, okay, why don't you put a make a pro? Why don't you petition your networks to just one time make a black Jesus, so-called black, 'cause we know there's no black. Why just one time? If you believe all colors are beautiful, why don't you do that? Why are you telling me about color? You want to whitewash everything, want to paint everybody. If I tell you the people who call themselves white, they're not white, you'd be amazed. You'd be amazed. People who are passing. You'd be amazed. I'm not going to even go through that because everything's on the internet. If you don't know your ancestry, if you got that one drop of blood, you persecuting your own self. How could you be in America for 3 or 4 generations and not have that one drop? I'm talking to other community now. It's all in the blood. Okay, man, come on. I want y'all to leave so I can go. I'm tongue tired. I've been there 47 minutes. Whoa. This is the longest I've been in a while. Usually I keep my videos 20 minutes or less. So what else y'all want? What else y'all want? Let me look in the chat. Oh, nobody's talking in the chat. I've answered all the questions. If you're from India, you know about the so-called untouchables. Yeah, you're indigenous. You were the indigenous people. They made y'all the lower class. You know that, don't you? Yeah, you say you're beautiful. Do they say you're beautiful? The people who put you, the Brahmins, do they say you're beautiful? No, they say you're untouchable. So what you talking about? What you talking about? You don't know the reality of your class if you dusty, if you southern from the south, they say. They try to say now if you're dark skinned in Asia, you're from the south. The original Asiatics, I'm the original Asiatic. My complexion is the original Asiatic. I don't know where that black man come from. The messenger didn't teach that. He said the Asiatic so-called black man, but as y'all call us, but that don't mean that's who we are. What we call before we black? They call it black Moors, right? Black Moors. Okay, take away the black and what are we? Moors. Moors. That's how they described us before the term black was used. So if you want to know your history, go study the Moors. Before they start calling you a slave name, before they start calling you black. But they have other names they go by. Saracens, even Arabic. Good all original Arabic, same complexion. Let's put it like this. Anywhere you have pale skinned people, the original people were not pale skinned. You mix with the indigenous people, take their identity, take their culture, take their language, because you had none. You had none. So you had to take somebody else's. You're still doing it. And I'm not talking down to y'all. I'm just telling y'all the truth. Things they hide from you. They won't teach you the truth in your education system because they want to keep you in the delusion, thinking you're better because you're brighter.
That's so dumb. That's dumb.
Y'all fall to it every time because the programming depicts that. Look at these dumb black TV shows. All of them dumb. They don't have no intelligent programs for us. Cosby had the last intelligent programming for us. And you see what they did to him. I dare you show yourself as intelligent people. I dare you. I hate that. They call him American Dad until he started
Going against the programming, taking care of his community. Oh yeah, you need to research these people. See, a lot of y'all,
you fed so much lies. You don't even know. Just even on the internet, a lot of times it's hard to find the truth. Really, you got to get it from AI. You got to know the proper questions. 'Cause when I ask a question and AI gives me a lie, I got to cover some facts supporting my question. Then he said, "Oh yeah, you're right." Yeah, I've AI done that many times. Admit they made an error.
because they didn't know what I know.
Oh man, I made this promise. I can't get out of it. How many hate what I'm talking about? Two of you just leave. Just leave. Two people leave. So I can cut off this. Every time I say leave, it increases. Every time I say leave, the number goes up.
Well,
I don't care what the numbers say. I'm not going to be on here over an hour. Hi, how's it's going? How you doing? Greetings to you.
let me ask y'all a question.
People telling me Merry Christmas in the chat.
That sounds like an
Oxymoron to me.
have you ever heard of massacres?
Mass. Don't they have to do with like mass killers? Don't they have to do with death? If you have a mass for Christ, don't that mean that he died? Don't a mass mean somebody died? So how can you have a merry mass? Yeah, I majored in English in college. So I know endings of words.
English is a bastardized language.
Because it has no father. It borrowed from every other language. Every other language. That's why it's so confusing to learn. There's so many different meanings to each word. Correction. There's so many definitions to each word, but it only has one meaning.
So when you say mourning,
I don't know if you're talking about I should be mourning because of the condition of my people. Mourning, same pronunciation, same spelling. Or mourning because of the loss of somebody who was close to me. I don't mourn. I do not mourn. And there's another oxymoron. Okay, how can a mourning be good? You see how this English language got you lying? How can you have a good morning? How can you mourn? How can you have a Merry Christ Mass?
when mass means death. I'm from my mother's womb. What do you mean where I'm from? What's wrong with you? I'm from the Creator. All right. Get near that time, people. Oh, oh, I thought I had. When I got 12. Let me see how many people I got here. Yeah, stuck on 12. Well, thank y'all for spending some time with me. Appreciate you. Oh, I got two. I'm out of here right on time. One. Wait a minute. Am I blurred vision? Yeah. It's time to go, y'all. Thank y'all. Really had a good time. Telling the truth. That's what we do here. And I call myself American, but not just American. So you know who I am? I'm the first American. Or I'm the first nation. If you want to be descriptive, I say I'm the I'm the copper colored American. Copper colored people found here in America, which makes us the copper colored people found here in America, according to Noah Webster, 18, uh, 1828 dictionary. That makes me the first American, and that makes me the first nation. So we don't need to be called no foundational black Americans. We all Americans. We born in America, the continent. So stop emphasizing your being from. Oh, I'm from Panama. I'm from Puerto Rico. I'm from whatever. You're American. Then they couldn't play these games on you, as if you are immigrant. No, if you from Europe, you're an immigrant. You're not an American. You're an immigrant from America. You can't make tell me. You can't make me. I have critical thinking skills. You can't tell me black is white and white is black. I know where America is located. Thank y'all. Bye bye.